B 2002. 19-year-old directionalist Spurg still living with my mom. She's got money, so buys a house out in the sticks. 2 stories with basement, 3-car garage. Not bad. Move in. Things are cool first night. Begin setting up my room upstairs. Discover crawl space entry for attic. Decide to investigate. Open up. Crawl in. It was a little door, about 2.5 feet by 4 feet. Tiny window that I couldn't find, but I could see from outside is illuminating the room. Runs full length of the house, north to south. East wall is floor to ceiling, covered in a dry erase board. Loaded with drawings clearly made by children, with what appeared to be permanent markers. No idea how old the drawings are. Best guess is 2 or 3 kids. Normal stuff, cars, family, rocket ships, each other, mom and dad. And one weird figure. Always drawn completely black. Short legs, long arms, long hair, no face. Just a black circle. Going from north to south figure becomes more common, larger, and more prominent. Closer to the family, but always behind. Always the same features though. Yeah, this isn't creepy or anything, .jpg. Aside from that wall, room is 100% bare. Just a layer of dust. Leave, seal it up, put dresser in front of it. Play vidya, and try to forget. Middle of the second night, I hear a weird sound from upstairs. I crashed on the couch watching TV. Sounds like something bouncing and rolling from north to south on the second floor. On hardwood. The only hardwood floor upstairs is the crawl space. For about 3 hours, it goes north to south, then south to north, and then back. And then it stops. Go to sleep anyway, convince myself it's the wood settling with new weight on it, because I am a skeptical moron. Night 3, hear it again, but with something else accompanying it. It's fucking feet. Bare feet. Small ones. Running after the bouncing sound that I now realize I recognize as one of those ultra bouncy rubber super balls. Next morning, open crawl space to investigate. There are fucking footprints in the dust layer, not even half the size of my size 13 boots that I was wearing when I was in here yesterday. But only one set, moving north to south, then south to north. Basically, a perfect loop. Only other tracks are mine. Close up crawl space, put dresser back, play vidya. Hear bouncing noise start again. Hear feet again. 2 sets now. Second set sounds heavier. Like a larger person, close to my size. I'm 6 foot, 170 at the time. And they're fast. They're chasing after the smaller feet. Same pattern, north to south, south to north. Repeat. Super ball noise is firmer now, like it's being thrown instead of just bounced. Put in earbuds, jam to OG Metallica, and ignore. Tell mom when she gets home from work. She's naturally skeptical too. Next night, nothing happens. No sounds, nothing. Starts up at the crack of dawn. A third set of feet, lighter than second, and they're accompanying the first. Try to ignore. Sounds stop. Resume vidya on living room TV. Suddenly, hear something coming down the stairs. Bouncing. Cat decides this is an excellent time to suddenly become completely insane. Poofs out to the size of a basketball and begins growling and hissing at the stairs. A motherfucking super ball comes bouncing down the stairs, and I hear tiny footsteps run away from the top of the stairwell. Mid-July in Iowa, it's nearly 95 degrees out. The AC is off because it's broken. And yet, there's a massive cold draft now coming from upstairs. Cat fucks off to the porch, yowling and screaming like he's being eaten. Pick up and stare at Super Bowl. Looks old as fuck. There's a chunk missing out of it. Take outside, throw in dumpster. That night, no sounds. Nothing. Garbage pickup the next day. Silence for a week. Sounds start again one night. All 3 sets of feet. Super Bowl. Officially freaked out, but more angry. Mom hears them too. Go upstairs, tear open crawl space. Footprints fucking everywhere in the dust. 3 distinct sets of kid footprints. And one set that looks like Shaq has been in our attic. Barefoot. 4 toes. It's missing a pinky toe. And it's larger than my boot. Way too fucking spooky for me. Seal crawlspace. Spend 20 minutes caulking the door shut to make sure it stays that way. Going back downstairs. Hear footsteps behind me running across the hall. Look back. The fucking Super Ball is at the top of the stairs. Slowly back downstairs. The sounds start again about 30 seconds after I sit down. But they're quieter. This time it's only the lighter feet and the ball. Decide to check something. Turn on upstairs light that illuminates the top of the stairs. My face when the fucking ball is gone. Go stay with my aunt for a week because fuck this. Mom says noises stopped after I left. Come back. They start within 5 minutes of me getting home and getting my stuff unpacked from aunt's. Hear loud thud from crawlspace door. Nah, I'm not opening that. Then hear ball bouncing off the wall at face height, over and over. Hear it hit the wall, then the floor, then pause, and repeat. Ballsy moment, I say, "Hey, play quieter, please." Sounds stop dead. And then nothing for 3 days. Morning of last day, the sounds start again. But it's just a ball, no feet. Then silence. Suddenly, hear bouncing noise again, but now it's coming down the stairs and hitting the walls on the way down. But nothing is coming down the fucking stairs. Happens over and over for probably an hour. I remember this next shit vividly. Playing in TFT singles weekend tourney. Gimme that Felguard. Game starts. Hear massive crash from upstairs. Sounds like shit flying everywhere. Then the bouncing. Power an entire house browns out for 2 to 3 seconds. So much for the tourney. Head for the stairs, scared as shit. The ball is at the bottom of the stairs to greet me like, "Hello, mortal plaything." Pick it up, go upstairs. My dresser is in fucking pieces, and the door to the crawlspace is knocked off its hinges. Room is easily 15 feet across, and there are pieces of my dresser and clothes against the far wall. Sprint downstairs, outside, hurl ball into field behind home, turn around to go back inside. Window to crawlspace in plain view, completely black. Couldn't make out finer details because nearsighted. It looked like a 3D shadow blocking out the window. Watch as it slowly moves away from the window. Find my nuts, head back inside. Cleaning up dresser, packing my shit because I'd rather live with my aunt than this. Have to be right by crawlspace entrance for this. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Ball rolls out of crawlspace, like it shouldn't be 60 yards deep in the field that I just threw it into. Nope. Hear breathing in crawlspace. Grab shit out, force mom to leave with me, take cat, go to aunt's. We go back the next day to finish getting shit and get out. Why are there fire trucks? Fire and upstairs. My room and crawlspace are destroyed. Investigator blames faulty electric. Get shit, get out, and never return. The next person that bought the land tore the house down after 2 months. Not in a woods, but in a sea. Be researching Humboldt squid. Be looking from safe distance. Dumbass diving partner decides to get a better look. Nemo, get back here, .jpg. He swims right in the middle of a school of them. Oh shit, what are you doing? .gif. A smaller one swims up to him. He grabs it. It turns red. It bites his arm and eats his fucking bicep with a few bites. He flails around trying to get the fucker off. Other one gets his leg, and I shit you not, his foot comes off. You done goofed. Large one about 8 feet long, maybe 200 to 300 pounds, wraps its tentacle around his torso. Fucking thing is digging into him. I see the guy violently thrash around even more. I can barely see through the blood. The big one must have had his fill of human flesh because he started swimming away. I saw him holding a bone in his tentacle. It was a rib. He was eating some flesh off of it. I looked back over to the frenzy that has erupted. Just a ton of squid from 3 to 7 feet long, swimming in and out of a cloud of blood. I remember seeing a few innards floating around. A friend of my dad's would babysit me sometimes when I was little. Mom wasn't really in the picture. And he used to tell a story to me that scares the absolute shit out of me to this day. Dad's friend, I'll call him Bob, is driving a rig out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Oregon. Has to make the delivery by the following morning, so he decides to just drive through the night. It's like 1 a.m. No one else is out on the roads. Hasn't seen another car in probably 100 miles. He is literally in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, the whole entire sky lights up. Instantly, like daylight. Bob fucking slams on the brakes, has no idea what the hell is going on. Everything stays lit up for a good solid 10 seconds. He can see everything. Whatever's happening, it's not lightning. It doesn't stop or flicker at all. Bob hunkers down, anticipating imminent nuclear devastation. Suddenly, sky goes dark again. No sound, no blast wave. He sits there in the middle of the road, waiting for almost 5 minutes, then decides to keep going. Figures it was a meteor or something. Goes about 2 miles up the road and sees a car with its flashers stopped in the middle of the road. Stops a good distance away from it. There's not enough room to go around it. Front end of the car is crumpled like it hit something. Bob figures they probably hit a deer that got spooked whenever the meteor went over and ran into the road. He gets out of the cab and goes to see if the driver is okay. Driver is sitting on the ground by the driver's side door. Has his knees up and is resting his head on his arms. "Hey buddy, you okay?" Bob calls. He stops about 10 feet away for seemingly no reason. Something about the whole situation feels weird. Bob is one of those guys that always listens to his gut, so he stays put. "God, my head is killing me," the guy says, but he doesn't lift his head up, so it's all muffled. "Did you hit a deer?" Bob asks. He's getting more and more uneasy. Something's wrong, but he still can't figure out what exactly it is. The guy says he thinks he might have hurt his head. Asks Bob to please help him. Bob takes a step forward, but his instincts are going apeshit. He looks at everything again. That's when he notices it. The fucking car is all wrong. It looks like what someone thinks a car looks like. It has all the right pieces, but there's nothing extra, if that makes sense. Bob says it looked like a cheap Hot Wheels knockoff. It just looked wonky and wrong. He looks around at the back of the car and realizes that not only is there no license plate, there's not even a trunk. It's just one solid piece of material with taillights put in it. There's no manufacturer or model name. Bob knows cars, and this thing is nothing he's ever seen before. From where he's standing, he can see that there's no tailpipe or even hubcaps. It's just the shape of a car. He starts to back up, and the guy asks for help again. Bob tells him he can't help him, and that he'll call a tow truck when he gets to the next town. The guy lifts his head and looks at Bob. Tells him he thinks he might have a concussion. Something is really, really wrong with the guy's face. But again, it takes a second for Bob to figure it out. The next part is exactly how Bob described it. Everything on the man's face was where it should have been, in their normal positions. He looked totally normal, except for the fact that his eyes and mouth were on upside down. Bob goes apeshit and sprints back to his rig, climbs in, locks the door just in time for the man to slam into the door behind him. How the fuck did he get there so fast? He knocks on the glass and smiles at Bob, but because his mouth is upside down, it looks like he's screaming. Tells Bob to open the door so he can come in. Bob fucking floors it. Doesn't care if he hits the guy or not. His truck easily pushes the car out of the way. Whatever it is, it's light, and it makes no sound when he hits it. Unfortunately, it's an anticlimactic ending. Bob got where he was going fine, with no other problems. My dad knows the story, but I don't think he believes it. But Bob tells it to everyone he meets, so he obviously does. He's absolutely adamant about the guy being an alien. Years later, I heard about the Thatcher effect, and nearly had a fucking heart attack when I saw it. I showed one of the pictures to Bob, and he wouldn't even look at it. He says it's exactly what the guy looked like. Pic very much related. Last October, me and 5 friends rent a cabin for the weekend in the middle of nowhere. Plan to alternate between being drunk and high the entire time. We are all stupid excited Friday when we arrive. We all rode crammed together in one car. Get everything set up for a campfire in the woods and get wasted. Friend Jay is getting over an ex, crying like a bitch. We all try to cheer him up. We all tell drunk stories. Near midnight, we're about a 10-minute hike away from the cabin, which itself is a good 20-minute drive from a real road. We let the campfire go low, and me and another friend, S, are trying to get it started again, while Jay is almost passed out behind me, drunk blabbering. Jay goes quiet all of a sudden. Turn around and see Jay is standing beside a girl in a dress, no shoes. Remember, we're in the middle of a cold-ass woods in October. Jay is just staring at her. He gets out his phone and calls someone, hangs up after a couple of seconds. Girl is just looking at us while he does this. I ask her if she's lost. She moves her head side to side. Not a shake, but more like left ear to left shoulder, then right ear to right shoulder. She keeps doing it. Jay is freaked out. Looks totally sober. S goes to Jay, and she tries to calm him down. I ask the girl if she wants to come back to the cabin with us. She says yes. Seems more normal now. The other 2 friends, K and M, pack up our stuff and walk with Strange Girl, while me, S, and Jay walk ahead. Jay says Strange Girl looks exactly like his ex. He thought it was her. He called his ex to see if she would pick up, but she didn't. He is convinced it is her, and she's just fucking with him. I tell him the girl is probably some crazy religious guy's daughter or something that just runs around the woods for fun. Really, I thought she was homeless. Jay is kind of convinced, wants to go back and talk to her. He seems drunk again, and it isn't hard to get him to go to bed instead. Me and S talk bullshit till the rest get back. K and M get back. No Strange Girl. They said Strange Girl would alternate between sounding perfectly normal, talking about being at school or working at some restaurant, and then start doing strange gestures and waiting for them to respond. M asked her how she got in the woods, and the girl said, "Hey, down." She started saying that to everything. M and K stopped talking to her. When they got close to the cabin, they looked around, and she was about 50 feet behind them. They walked in without, guessing she was still out there. We all talk about how strange it is. Eventually, all go to sleep. I wake up. It's still dark. Jay is making a racket messing with the supplies. Look around and see Strange Girl standing to his side. Her dress is covered in dirt, scabs on her knees and arms. I get up and ask Jay what the fuck. He says he heard a noise outside and went to check it out. He didn't see anything but noticed 2 tires on the car were flat. Tells me he has some tire repair stuff in the supplies. What about her? I ask him. Strange Girl was outside by the trees. He invited her back. I want to tell him he's a dumb fuck, and she probably popped the tires, but she's right there, so I just give him the stink eye. He finds the tire repair gel and a pump. I say I'll help him, and we go outside. I tell him how Strange Girl was to K&M. He blows it off and says she seems nice. You just miss your ex, you dumb fuck. We get to the car, and I see the 2 flats. Find a nail on each one. We start patching them. S comes out while we work. Says she woke up because Strange Girl tried to sleep beside her. She probably saw K&M together and wanted to make a matching pair, Jay suggested. I think that's what it was, though. Like she was trying to learn. She talks to us while we wait for the tire stuff to dry. She also thinks Strange Girl is homeless, and we should make her leave. Jay vehemently denies. Says she'll make him not feel like a fifth wheel. You'll be worse than that when she slits your fucking throat. I wouldn't do that. Strange Girl is at the door of the cabin. Overheard us, I guess. I apologize for talking about her, say we were joking. Says she knows a joke. Why is the chicken dead? Why? Because it crossed the road. She makes a weird sound, like a high-pitched snort, then smiles at us. Her teeth are blindingly white. She says she'll be back, walks back into the woods. We all go in cabin. It is a wreck, furniture slammed all over. K and M are gone. S says it was fine when she was in there 20 minutes ago. We look around the cabin, no sign of K and M. We clean up the cabin, but one of the chairs is snapped in half. K and M come back. They're all scratched up and scared. They say that strange girl started flipping out, so they ran out front and didn't see anyone, so they ran into the woods. But they heard weird shit, so they came back. There is no way they walked outside without us seeing them. There's only the one door to the cabin. We all just sit there for a while, thinking that shit out. Strange girl comes back sometime later, covered in more dirt and maybe blood. She is, dragging a dead deer. The neck is ripped out. Casually, she says, "I found you guys some food lying in the woods." Jay asks her where she went. "Hid the keys." Ask her if she means Jay's car keys. She says, "Yes," still casual. I ask her why. She says so we won't leave early. She wants us to stay. We all just stare. She drags the deer with her and goes towards a tree to gut it. I notice her foot got really fucked up. She is basically walking on her ankle. S and K are having panic attacks at this point, screaming and crying. We try to calm them down. We sit in silence while strange girl strips the deer and cuts off strips for them. She waddles back, asks us to make a fire to cook the deer. I say, okay, and I do it. Everyone else refuses to even talk to her. I make the fire and she cooks the deer by dangling the pieces in her hand, over the fire. I say nothing. Very awkward, her staring at me. I notice that everyone behind me is whispering. Strange girl is singing while she cooks. It's a weird lullaby, I know, because my mom used to sing it. Scoop you up, shush you around, all the frowns go upside down. I try to smoothly step away from strange girl and towards group. Jay says he has a spare key to the car, and that we should get the tires on and leave. Strange girl is staring at us. I have a plan, but we all have to eat the deer. We all eat a strange girl deer strip. I have to hold back vomit thinking of her holding them like that. I tell strange girl how good they were. She smiles at me. It's too wide. I tell her we'll need another deer for tomorrow. She smiles even wider. She says she'll go get some. She's walking more normally now, still kind of a march instead of a walk. I sit there, watching her walk away. As soon as she's out of sight, everyone is running around, tripping and dropping shit. K and M pack up the trunk, while me, J, and S inflate the tires and get them back on the car. By the time we're almost done, it's been about as long as she was gone last time. There's a weird smell in the air. Everyone is cramming into the car. The girls are crying and whimpering again. Heareth the bump when Jay pulls out. We were in such a hurry that we forgot to get the jack out from under the car. Jay runs back and gets it, almost falls on his ass getting back in the car. He goes top speed for his shitty car. Doesn't even slow down till we hit the actual road. We don't talk about Strange Girl ever again, except for once when we're drunk together. S says she still dreams about her. I had finally stopped thinking of all of this until last week, when I asked my mom where she got that lullaby from. She told me she made it up when I was a baby. This is a legit personal story. Camping in mountains in California, east of Bakersfield. Few of the group go hiking around an old gold mine. Abandoned car with 10,000 bullet holes. Ancient rusty mining equipment. Huge solid steel double door over the mine entrance. Huge but normal padlock keeping it shut. Bullet dings in door, clearly not massively thick. Few bullet holes go all the way through. They're coming out, not going in. Fucking weird. Climb up on top of what we are now dubbing the door. Minor collapse has left a crack through which to see the inside of the cave. Can barely make out what looks like a table. Neat enough, let's bring the rest of the crew here later. Evening, full group, kids and shit, jeep over to the door. Huh. Could swear there were only like 5 holes in that door. Now, there's dozens, all coming from inside. Some of the kids climb up top, shine flashlights through the crack. Hey, there's a table and chairs in there. All 3 flashlights they have go out at the same moment. Everybody kind of weirded out. Kids climb back down, replace batteries. Nope, bulbs are burned out. I grab the massive halogen spotlight and climb up, shine it inside. Round wooden table, 4 wooden chairs. Couldn't see very far past, even with the huge light. Spotlight goes out. No fucking way. Fuck with the switch, try to see if the filament broke. Look back into the crack. It's not complete nightfall yet. See 4 pairs of yellow-orange eyes looking back at me from what seems to be the positions of the 4 chairs. Shit. Run like a bitch. As soon as I get back down in front of the door, the spotlight comes back on. Say I've had enough of that shit and head back to camp alone while people make fun of me. Not long back in camp, the rest of the group arrives. A few of the other adults climbed up with the spotlight and 4 other normal flashlights. They saw the furniture but didn't see the eyes because they didn't stick around when all 5 of their lights went out. While climbing down, they heard what sounded like a gunshot from behind the door. The regular old flashlights had their bulbs burned out. The spotlight worked again, went away from the door. The door is now an instant legend among a group. Next year, same camping trip, mostly the same huge group. Let's go see the door. Why, that seems like a fine idea. Can't find it. It's definitely the same area. There's ancient rusted mining machinery. There's the shot up old car. No door. And the exact area where we all remember it is our rocky hillside. Making a stop at the forest ranger station for water and ask about it. I think I know the mine you're talking about, but it never had a mine shaft. It was a sluice operation. And we what? It for the rest of our lives. Little bit more detail. The mine dated from the gold rush, mid-1800s. The car looked like it was from the 1930s. Of course, the assumption was that people out hunting and hiking shot out the car because why the fuck not? But then, why was that car abandoned there in the first place? Maybe the car got shot up before it was abandoned. Also, of note, the bullet holes coming from inside the door were very large caliber, as well as at least a third of the holes in the car. Shotgun slugs were the first thought, and a couple years later, my gun nut cousin mentioned that Army service rifles through the 1800s were bigger than .50 caliber.